Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a new night point of view review. In front of us is the new Peugeot 308 station wagon. This is the Allure package. I'm gonna lock the car. You can see the beige LED headlights. We're gonna test them outside the city in pitch black where there's no street lights. If we check the profile, we can see we're sitting on 17-inch alloys. They're standard in the Allure package. In the GT you would get 18-inch and you would get matrix on the front. On the rear we also have LED lights, a little bit different signature. Now I could have chosen the GT pack or the Allure, but I've went with the Allure just to show you the difference. We unlock the cargo area, push this up, rolls. You can see it's fairly big, despite this is the plug-in hybrid. Now put this back. It's kind of starting to pick up wind, so I'm just gonna hop inside and be on my way so we can start driving. There we go. Get myself in comfortable. Now, another reason, as mentioned, I wanted to show you the Allure package, and I think it's pretty high quality made. It's nice and posh. There's a lot of soft touch materials. And this new infotainment is finally in Peugeot fast and responsive. We also have Apple CarPlay. But let me just turn on the electronics for a moment. Now I'm gonna turn on the light just to show you the interior. We have the digital cockpit. It's not a 3D cockpit that you would get in the GT pack, but I gotta say this looks pretty solid to me. There's different views here. You can see maps. There is battery status. There is this where you can see power consumption and trip, and there's this where you can see the distance when you're in a cruise. We're gonna check that on the freeway, or the classical one I'm gonna keep. And we have here navigation, and we go here, we have the Apple CarPlay, works wirelessly. It's nice and fast. You can have your apps. It's nice and crispy graphics. You can go two ways here, or you can just use Peugeot maps. I'm gonna also demonstrate some music. You can switch here easily through radio or media, and just let's hear some music.
10 years ago, my trek together with Ferry Course.
So I think there's like an ad. It's some sort of I can't say the name. I don't want to get a copyright strike, but I'm gonna just wait for a moment, maybe get you some music as soon as the talk ends. Another thing, there's a little ambient lights on the doors on the top here and here. You can change the colors of those lights. There's nothing on the rear, unfortunately. Now these are the basic speakers. Let's see if I can play some songs.
Stay tuned for more.
Okay. Now I'm gonna show you here. So this is the hybrid. Unfortunately, I didn't get the Type 2 cable, so I couldn't use there's a public charging station just around the corner. And I only have the Schuko for the garage, but since I don't have a garage, I just didn't have time to charge that. You can see here, you can use the e-save. This would charge your battery with petrol, but it kind of defeats the purpose of driving a plug-in hybrid. It's intended to have a outlet at home or at work, so you can charge the car when you're not using it. Just here, you can see I was like charging, then using a lot of fuel to charge the battery, and then using it again. So this car makes no sense if you don't have an outlet. It's like a smartphone, you need to charge it every night. Okay, let's hear some music. I was a bit stalling to get some music. I can't play it for too long. Anyways, it's pretty solid speakers for bass speakers. If you want more, go for the upgraded speaker. There's a fly that got inside. Okay, and let me see here. I'm gonna stay on the navigation, switch these lights off. Sorry for long talking. And we're gonna be on our way. just yeah, I didn't press the power on. Peugeot has a little bit confusing system with the start stop. You have to hold it in order to turn it on. It's not one click and it's on. It's, I don't know what's the logic behind that. Just to show you the back and camera, it is cool. I wanted to show you that. It changes the view, but the resolution is pretty sharp, and if you turn the steering wheel, the camera turns. You can see that. Now we're gonna head out. So the Allure package only gets the rear camera, the GT gets the front and rear. I can't remember if it was like I think it was the 360 camera as well, so you can see also the sides. But the Allure package is quite well equipped. I think I even personally prefer the interior seats, the fabric, the leather, and the blue stitching they've used in the Allure rather than in the GT pack. But if you want more package or more features, more technology, you have to upgrade to the next package. That's the Peugeot Logic. Okay, so I didn't mention this is the 1.6 Pure Tech, also combined with the electric motor, and total power is 180 horsepower. I don't want to go to the technical detail as much. There is a stronger version of 225 horsepower, so if you want that, you can have a stronger plug-in hybrid. But I think this is more than enough for daily use and even for commuting. Now, suspension is very nice and comfortable, and since you're sitting on 17-inch alloys, it's even more comfortable rather than on the 18-inch I had on the 308 when I had a hatch version on the test. Now, as you can see, the car just speeds nicely. You can see that the speed is in the left bubble blue. This means we're driving electric at the moment. When it goes white, it's using the petrol engine. Now, the brakes are very aggressive, I would say. I was used to hard brakes, very aggressive on like the Volkswagen Group cars and the German cars, but this is hard and aggressive. Now there's a B mode, recuperation. You can see I've left off the foot of the accelerator or the gas or the whatever you call it, and throttle, and it just starts recuperating. That's the only way to charge the battery besides burning fuel and using the e-save to charge your car, but you won't get too much inside, so it's best that you use a charging station or that you have a Schuko outlet in a garage. Otherwise this car doesn't make sense. So I have to emphasize that you know, this is not your classical hybrid. This is a plug-in hybrid, and it's supposed to be plugged overnight. I'm using a different route for the regular audience because there is some constructions on the other path, so I'm trying to avoid that because this is a brand new car. I'm like the second person driving it, so it was registered yesterday, literally. Now, steering, I gotta say that steering is giving you a fair amount of feedback because it is not adaptable. So this is a standard setting, and I would say it's more on the sport setup. Like, it gives you good amount of feedback. It's not a lot, so it's not like if you had like 3 standard settings, like the really soft, medium, and sport. I would say it's more leaning towards the sport. It's not between the medium setup and the hardest, but it's leaning towards the more feedback setup. But I like it. Now, this little steering wheel is in a lower position for the camera. I hope you guys see the digital cockpit. But otherwise, I would have it a little bit taller, but still, it takes a little bit of getting used to, of the position of the steering wheel. For me, it's not a huge problem, so I'm not hitting it with the knees, but it gets a little bit of getting used to the steering wheel. I found out it's better to use it like the classical way, the 11 and 2 o'clock, although it's today preferred or suggested to use a 9 and 3. Now, car is super stable on the road. I tried to be a little harsh when going into the bends, into the corners. There's no body leaning. The car is sitting fairly low, and it has a good center of mass because of the battery. The motors are at the front, but because of the battery, there's a heavy battery in the rear, so it has a good distribution of weight. So it's almost like an electric car. In a way, it is. Now, 8-speed automatic, at least, 8-speed automatic. It's nice, it shifts nicely, it's smooth for the most part. There is a little bit difference when you switch from petrol. There's a slight shake when the petrol turns on, but barely feel it. I had some other cars in a test that would shake a lot. This is like just a little bit, so you know it's on. I can see the dials are now white. I've left the car in the electric mode, I forgot, so I'm in hybrid now. I'm gonna switch to the sport once we get to the highway. But as you can see, the car just speeds up nicely, and it's such a joy to drive this car because it drives like a knife through butter. It's just smooth with the electric motor, and this is the great thing because this is like both worlds combined, electric and petrol, so you don't have to worry about range or if you're going to find a charging station, but you can drive it as an electric car through the city. And when you drive it in the hybrid mode, it's nice because there's no lag. The petrol engines or the petrol itself is slow, it's lag, it takes time to build a revolution, and by that time with the electric motor you're already past that. You can use so much more when you have electric motor. Now, I personally drive a Tesla and I'm used to instant acceleration. For me, range isn't that huge of a problem. I would say for my personal use, 300-400 kilometers is mostly enough. But when you're going to a longer trips, then definitely, it takes some of your time. And then if you are that person who travels a lot, this is ideal. But once you discharge your battery, then have in mind you're dragging a heavy battery that's empty, and you're increasing your fuel range, especially if you're using the e-save. So then again, I'm not sure if the plug-in hybrids are such a smart solution if you're doing a long distance travel, if you're traveling for work longer distances. If you're commuting, this should be more than enough, and it's fine, and it's gonna give you the best results because you can save fuel, you can have a small fuel consumption. Now, the person before me got around 4 liters, but he's a little bit aggressive and he was driving mostly in the city. I believe I can get 3, but unfortunately they didn't give me the cable, so I didn't charge the battery, and it's pretty low. I'm gonna punch it here. Uphill. Now the LED lights are quite okay. Long beam. Now I'm going to switch it to the sport mode. Changes colors. You can change that. Punch it all the way. back to the hybrid. Now, sound, it's okay. Now there's a hard tarmac and there's like patch of new one. So this is quiet and then rough. So today is quite windy, but the soundproof inside the cabin is quite good. I would say better than the average. Now you can check here, cruise control on. You can control the distance. Of course, in the navigation you can find charging stations. Now when you're in a cruise, this has only, it will keep you back in the lane, but it's not a lane keeping assist. It just prevents you from crossing the lane if you fell asleep. So iPhone camera, these are the normal beam and long beam. I would say this is quite okay. Their LED lights are way brighter. They're not matrix, but still very good and better than the halogen bulbs. A little bit of long beam. I think it's safe to do a launch here. It's starting to rain, but it's still dry, so let's punch it. Now brakes are good. Now that was the hybrid mode. And now the sport mode. Hold brake, throttle all the way. Definitely prefer the hybrid mode. Now some of you will want to see the navigation. Yes, that's a shopping center, and it's the one. Drive and drive. So you can see the navigation there. And I can show you the navigation in the cockpit as well. So honestly, now when I think of it, I think this...
You will arrive at your destination at 0:34.
Okay, thank you. This cockpit is way better when it comes to the colors you see. And simply because the 3D cockpit has its 2 layers and it's not as sharp as this, to be honest. So yeah, I think some of the people, you know, are saying, oh, I'm canceling my order, you know, there's no 3D cockpit, but I think just the virtual cockpit is quite good. I mean, if you get the manual gauges, okay, I can say that sucks, but this is quite good. Now, what you are interested is the consumption. Yes, if I press here, you can see total emissions saved in kilometers driving electric. My trip was 7 liters, so I haven't reset the trip computer, and the battery is pretty much low. So I would need to go, in this case, if I want to charge the battery, to the e-save and turn on that, and then boom, the petrol engine is on, and now it's charging the battery. So there it is. A little bit of Apple CarPlay, or this is the Waze in this case. It looks like it lost me. Let me center. Okay. But I kind of prefer the original navigation. Finally, they've updated the maps. There is a tunnel under the roundabout.
After 300 meters, you have reached your destination on your right.
I gotta say that the voice is a bit annoying. I don't know, it just doesn't have that friendly female voice. Maybe it's just me. Okay, I think I'm gonna end this. And ending our video in the garage. I thought I've ended this, but it didn't. Now, take the card now. I haven't checked. The window goes, yeah, not all the way down. You can hear the electric sound, but the petrol kicked in. Now there is a charging station that actually has the Type 2, but I'm not gonna stay here for that long. And I'm gonna end the video anyways and drive off, but to park nicely. And let's see the reverse camera. I think they finally decided, you know, they've improved the camera, and it's finally good. So that was the review. Again, excellent car. You won't make a mistake if you get the 308. Just, you know, don't be naive in getting the hybrid or the plug-in hybrid if you don't have the plug. And that's it. It was here. It was a little bit fast with the doors. There was 4.7 liters average. But of course I've decided to turn off the car. It was fast. Yeah, now it doesn't say anything. But yeah, I saw. So there you go. That's quite a good fuel consumption. If we, you know, consider that I was punching it just a little bit to show you what the car can do on the highway and a little 0 to 100, but quite impressive. Love the design once again, just to do in the garage, a little walk around. Now the car acts up sometimes if you unlock it and lock it many times, which I did for filming. You can see the rear signature once again, a little bit on the light here. The garage is now at saving mode, so most of the lights are off, and you can see the front. I would definitely choose the was it turquoise green, like towards like a light blue color. That's free. This is the gray color that's an option. I would definitely not go for that one, because the free colors in Peugeot are just excellent, so at least on the 308 series. So that's what I would go for. Thank you for watching. I didn't go too much technically into the details what you can do with this. By the way, the car can charge up to 7 kilowatts. See you in the next one. Stay safe. Bye. GoPro, stop recording.